Mystery of Mysteries, a primer of Thelemic Ecclesiastical Gnosticism, Part 2, the Gnostic Mass, Chapter 7, the Qibla, Anu V6, Sol 29 degrees Leo, Luna 7 degrees Libra, Dies Veneris, August 21st, 2020, Era Vulgaris, 2:39 p.m. Central Standard Time, GMT -5, the hour of the sun, at the very beginning of the Islamic New Year, Muharram, right around the third day. Do what thy wilt should be the whole of the law. Love is the law. Love under will. Again, Chapter 7, the Qibla, Note 1. An early draft of this chapter appeared in the Magical Link, winter 1991 to 92 of the Common Era. In the east, that is, in the direction of Boleskine, which is situated on the southern, in the east, that is, in the direction of Boleskine, which is situated on the southeastern shore of Loch Ness in Scotland, 2 miles east of Foyers, is a shrine or high altar. Set up my image in the east, thou shalt buy thee an image which I will show thee, especial, not unlike the one thou knowest. The east is a direction of the rising sun, of the dawning light. In Latin, east is Orens, which literally means rising, and was an epithet of the sun god. It is from this word that we derived our words Orient, Oriental, and Urdu, simply Orientis. The east symbolized paradise in medieval Europe. For this reason, medieval map makers usually placed the east at the top of their maps, hence the term orientation. In Blue Lodge Freemasonry, of which the reader is a member, which preserves vestiges of the ancient solar cult, the master's chair is situated in the east, and even referred to simply as the east. The Grand Lodge of a Masonic jurisdiction is called the Great East or Grand East, or in France, the Grand Orient. In the lesser pentagram and hexagram rituals, the star ruby, the star sapphire, Liber Pyramidos, the Gnostic Mass, and many other rituals, Thelemic, Hermetic, and otherwise, the magician begins the ritual facing east. But the east of Thelemic ritual is not necessarily the east of the compass. In the canon of the Gnostic Catholic Church, Liber 15, the east is defined as the direction of Boleskines. That is the house of the beast, 666. In a diary entry for October 9, 1916 of the Common Era, Crowley says lodges, professed houses, etc. should always be oriented to Boleskine. In chapter 23 of Magic Without Tears, he says, remember that your east, your Qibla, is Boleskine house. What is a Qibla? And why is our east to be Baleskin house? The Arabic word Qibla or Qibla refers to the holiest shrine of Islam. At the center of the courtyard of the great mosque at Mecca is a stone building called the Kaaba, cube, or the Bayt Allah, house of God. The original Kaaba or Kaaba is reputed to have been built by Abraham, and Ishmael, his son and the legendary founder of the Arabic race, is allegedly buried nearby. Built into the exterior of the eastern corner of the Kaaba is the Hajar al-Aswad, the black stone. The black stone is said to have been given to Abraham by the Archangel Jabrail, or Gabriel. Note 2. This is not the only black stone to occur in the history of religions. In 218 of the Common Era, the Roman Emperor Elagabalus Heliogabalus, who had been a priest of the local Baal in the Syrian city of Emesa, Homs, established the cult of the Sol Invictus, Elagabal, or El Ajabal, in Rome. This deity was worshipped in the form of a black, conical, meteoric stone and was ceremonially married by El Ajabalus to an image of the moon goddess Astarte. The devotees of Cybele also revered a black meteoric stone. 5 times each day, devout Sunni Muslims turn toward Mecca to pray. Muslims within the confines of Mecca turn towards the Kaaba, and they are expected to make pilgrimage there at least once in their lifetime, if able. The term Qibla denotes not only the physical location of the Kaaba, but also, and more importantly, the direction to which a Muslim turns his face to pray, or his wajhu, his being, to pray from wherever he may be standing on the face of the earth. All mosques are aligned with the Qibla, more or less, which is indicated within each mosque by an empty niche called the mihrab. The word Qibla is derived from the Arabic root Qabala, which means to be opposite. It enumerates 137. The Qibla, then, represents to the focal point of the magical current of a cult or religious system, the reservoir of magical energy which can be drawn upon by all who devote themselves to its mysteries. Most religious systems include a similar concept. Christianity and Judaism have their Jerusalem or Mount Sinai. The Samaritans have their Mount Gerizim. Hinduism has its Mount Meru or Mount Kailasa. The Greeks had their Mount Olympus, or the Omphalos at Delphi. Thelema has its Baleskin. Get the stele of revealing itself. Set it in thy secret temple, and that temple is already aright disposed. It shall be your Qibla forever. In the Thelemic system, the word Qibla refers to the stele of revealing, through which the equinox of the gods was revealed to our prophets. The abstraction or replica of the stele was originally housed at the manor of Baleskin and Eber Darf. situated on the southeastern shore of Loch Ness in Scotland, 2 miles east of Foyers, 17 miles from Inverness. The manor, which was the prophet's home at the time, is usually known simply as Boleskine, which is pronounced Bol Eskin. Transliterated into Hebrew, Boleskine is enumerated to 418. They shall worship thy name, four square, mystic, wonderful, the number of the man, and the number of thy house, 418. Liber Al 278. The stele of revealing represents the dawn of the Thelemic light, and as such, appropriately defines the Thelemic East. The current location of the stele, which was originally located at Boleskine, is unknown. But your holy place shall be untouched throughout the centuries, though with fire and with sword it be burnt down and shattered. Yet an invisible house there standeth, and shall stand unto the fall of the great equinox, when Herumachus shall arise, and the double-wanded one assume my throne and place. Liber Al 3:24. Liber Al 3:34. Thus the location of Boleskine House is to be the Umphalus, or center of power for Thelema, and is to continue as such for the duration of the Aeon of Horus, regardless of the physical presence of the stele or of the house itself. Thus, OTO lodges profess houses and Gnostic mass temples are ideally to be oriented towards Boleskine, and a replica of the stele of revealing is to be placed at the highest point on the super altar in the east of each temple, consecrated to the performance of the Gnostic mass. The Greek word stela, or stella, from which we derive the word stele, carries the following meaning: a block of stone, a support or prop, a monument, a covenant, a gravestone, and a sarcophagus. The Umphalus at Delphi was a boss of stone set upon the burial site of the sacred Python, slain by Apollo. The Delphic oracle, while seated upon the tripod, maintained constant physical contact with the Umphalus by holding in her hand one end of a sacred thread, the other end of which was fastened to the Umphalus. This connected her with the archaic energies of the Python, which were essential to the proper transmission of the oracle. The stele of revealing is the funeral tablet of Ankh of Nahunsu, a priest of Mantu, who lived in Thebes during the late 25th dynasty of ancient Egypt, around 725 before the Common Era. According to Aleister Crowley's mythic story, across the Gulf, Ankh of Nahusnu was responsible for ushering in the Aeon of Osiris. Aleister Crowley assumed the magical identity of the dead man, Ankh of Nahusnu, as the living prophet of the Aeon of Horus. The deliverer of the book of the law. The stele thus represents the oracular connection of the book of the law and the law of Thelema with the archaic energies of ancient Egypt, transformed and renewed in accordance with the cyclic pattern of aeonic evolution. In the Christian Mass, the cross is set up above the altar. The cross is a symbol of the death and resurrection of Christ, and the altar in the traditional place of sacrifice. Many denominations incorporate relics of saints beneath or within the altar or sewn into the altar cloth, and it was an early Christian custom to celebrate Mass upon the tombs of martyrs. Part of the ceremony of consecration of an altar in the Roman Catholic Church includes the burial of a relic inside the altar. The oblong shape and dimensions of the modern Christian altar are probably derived from the shape and dimensions of a sarcophagus. The shape of the altar also recalls that of the Ark of the Covenant, which contained the sacred relics of the foundation of Judaism, and upon which the feminine presence of God, the Shekinah, is said to have appeared. In our Gnostic Mass, it is the stele of revealing which is set above the altar. The funeral tablet of Ankh of Nahosnu, who returned across thousands of years from the dead to preach the law of Thelema. The altar is sized to be of the dimensions of a typical Egyptian sarcophagus. Also, the height of the altar is specified as precisely 44 inches. 44 is dam, the Hebrew word for blood. And the color of the altar cloth is specified as crimson. The color of blood, affirming the altar as the place of sacrifice. The blood is the blood of the saints, continuing knowledge from generation to generation. The blood is the blood of the saints, continuing knowledge from generation unto generation. While much of the symbolism of the altar in our Gnostic Mass is essentially congruent with that of the altar in the Christian Mass, one aspect is significantly different. In the Gnostic Mass, the feminine presence of God has been restored to her place upon the altar, affirming that the altar is not only the place of sacrifice, but the place of living communion as well. The stele and the cross serve the same function within their respective systems. Both are set above the sacrificial altar, sarcophagus, as the omphalos was set above the burial place of the python. Symbolically, both the cross and the stele serve as memorials of the covenant of resurrection between the founder of the religion, who returned to life from the tomb, and the ritual participants. Recall that the Greek word for stele means both memorial and covenant. Magically, both serve as bridges across the gulf of time and death, as gateways between the visible world of mortality and the invisible world of immortality. Recall that stele carries the additional meanings of a block of stone, corresponding to the cubic stone of the cross, the black stone of the Kaaba, and the alchemical stone of immortality, and a prop or support, corresponding to the path of Semech on the tree of life, which is attributed to the alchemical tarot trump, temperance, or art, which connects the lunar sphere of Yesod with the solar sphere of Tiferet, and which forms the cross by intersection with the path of Peh. The path of Pe is attributed to the tarot trump, the Tower, or the House of God. Recall that the Kaaba is also called the Beit Allah, the House of God. The stele in the Gnostic Mass Temple is, in effect, a pipeline through which we may commune with the subtle energies of the Thelemic current which intersect the visible world at the invisible house located at Boleskine. Symbolizes the proper orientation of the stele toward the Qibla of Boleskine symbolizes alignment with the Thelemic current and magically ensures a strong link with its energies. Boleskine is located at latitude 57 degrees 16 hours 0 minutes north, longitude 4 degrees 27 hours 45 minutes west. Footnote 3. A footnote in Liber 5 states that Boleskine is on Loch Ness, 17 miles from Inverness, latitude 57.14 north, longitude 4.28 west. However, these coordinates appear to be for the village of Foyers rather than for Boleskine itself. Ritual of the Pentagram, in which the magician skipped ahead. Boleskine is located at latitude 57 degrees 16 hours north, longitude 4 degrees 27 hours 45 minutes west. The Qibla, or precise angle towards Boleskine from true north at any point on the globe, following the shortest possible path, may be determined using Napier's analogies to solve a spherical triangle with one vertex at Boleskine, one at the point in question, and the third at the North Pole. The equations for Napier's analogies may be found in the CRC standard math tables or in any good textbook on spherical trigonometry. Angles toward Boleskine from true north to the nearest half degree for a selection of cities around the world are provided in the table at the end of this chapter. Unfortunately, it is rarely possible to physically align the temple precisely with the Qibla. In any case, the location of the stele in the temple defines the magical east of the temple, but when the magical east does not physically coincide with the Qibla, the proper link between the stele and Boleskine must be forged more strongly in the hearts and minds of the ritual participants. This link may be reinforced by a preliminary performance of a focusing ritual, such as Liber 5 or 25, or the Thelemic Lesser Banishing Ritual of the Pentagram, in which the magician begins the ritual facing the stele and magical east. It may also be reinforced by more elaborate means. For instance, a ceremonial consecration of the stele may be composed and performed, wherein the stele is set up in precise alignment with the Qibla, while appropriate verses of Liber Al are recited, and the personified forces of the Thelemic current are invoked to strengthen the magical link. The stele may then be moved to its position in the magical east, maintaining the link intact. What follows is a table of angles of orientation to the Thelemic Qibla for selected cities. The categories, for those taking notes, are city, angled toward Boleskine from true north, and those are them. Aachen, Germany, 40 west from north. Akron, Ohio, 43.5 degrees east from north. Athens, Greece, 35 degrees west from north. Atlanta, Georgia, 39.5 degrees east from north. Augusta, Georgia, 40 degrees east from north. Auckland, New Zealand, 1 degree west from north. Austin, Texas, 36 degrees east from north. Barcelona, Spain, 13 degrees west from north. Belfast, Northern Ireland, 16 degrees east from north. Bergen, Norway, 119 degrees west from north. Berlin, Germany, 58 degrees west from north. Birmingham, Alabama, 39 degrees east from north. Boston, Massachusetts, 46 degrees east from north. Brisbane, Australia, 22 degrees west from north. Buffalo, New York, 45 degrees east from north. Cairo, Egypt, 27 degrees west from north. Chicago, Illinois, 42.5 degrees east from north. Copenhagen, Denmark, 73 degrees west from north. Dallas, Texas, 37 degrees east from north. Copenhagen, Denmark, 73 degrees west from north. Dallas, Texas, 37 degrees east from north. Dublin, Ireland, 14 degrees east from north. Edmonton, Alberta, 38.5 degrees east from north. El Cajon, California, 31.5 degrees east from north. Hamburg, Germany, 59.5 degrees west from north. Houston, Texas, 36.5 degrees east from north. Indianapolis, Indiana, 42 degrees east from north. Jacksonville, Florida, 38.5 degrees east from north. Jerusalem, 35 degrees west from north. Lansing, Michigan, 44 degrees east from north. London, England, 22.5 degrees east from north. Los Angeles, California, 31 degrees east from north. Madrid, Spain, 2 degrees west from north. Milan, Italy, 30.5 degrees west from north. Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 46 degrees east from north. Minneapolis, Minnesota, 42.5 degrees east from north. Montreal, Quebec, 48 degrees east from north. Nolens, Louisiana, 37.5 degrees east from north. New York, 45 degrees east from north. Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, 37.5 degrees east from north. Omaha, Nebraska, 40 degrees east from north. Oslo, Norway, 102 degrees west from north. Paris, France, 22.5 degrees west from north. Perth, Australia, 39 degrees west from north. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 43.5 degrees east from north. Portland, Oregon, 32 degrees east from north. Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, 19.5 degrees east from north. Riverside, California, 31.5 degrees east from north. Rome, Italia, 29 degrees west from north. Blessings upon its king. St. Croix, U.S., VI, Virgin Islands, 33 degrees east from north. San Luis, St. Louis, Missouri, 40.5 degrees east from north. San Francisco, California, 30 degrees east from north. San Luis Obispo, California, 30.5 degrees east from north. Santa Cruz, California, 30.5 degrees east from north. Sao Paulo, Brazil, 21.5 degrees east from north. Sofia, Bulgaria, 40.5 degrees west from north. Split, Croatia, 36.5 degrees west from north. Stockholm, Sweden, 91 degrees west from north. Sydney, Australia, 28 degrees west from north. Tokyo, Japan, 18.5 degrees west from north. Toronto, Ontario, 45.5 degrees east from north.